with that price on my head.
No, they want me dead or alive. They want me dead or alive. I'm just trying to survive. You niggas falling behind. You never.
Alright guys, so I haven't uploaded any 2K videos in a minute, honestly. I really haven't uploaded just because I've been like addicted to GTA 5, and I heard a lot of news recently basically about NBA 2K18, what's going to go down, LD2K talking, Mike Wang talking, everybody talking basically. And basically I'm going to give you guys a rundown on all of how everything's going to go, what my thoughts on everything is, and I should have clips up on the screen whenever I'm talking about this certain subject, where I got the information from. And yeah, so basically I'm going to address the biggest problem first, shooting. This is the one that's most talked about. This is basically the one that's everyone's wondering how it's going to work, and I'm going to give you my opinion on what should happen, honestly. And yeah, so basically, Mike Wang was talking about how he looked at other games, and LD2K kind of talked about it too. And basically what they said was that they looked at all the previous games from 2K11 all the way up to 2K17, and they had kind of made a basic, like a little basis for all the shooting. And what I'm thinking is that they're going to take out the shot meter. And the reason why I say that is because a majority of the games that he said were 2K14, 2K13, 2K12, 2K11. That's 4 games out of the 7 that they picked, and that was a 4-3 advantage basically, meaning that they looked at more of how they're shooting compared to basically the new shooting from 2K15, 2K16, 2K17, which had the shot meter. In my opinion, if they took that out, that would be a great step, and I think I mentioned this in previous videos on what I wanted in 2K, next 2K. Before they posted this video, this was a while back, like maybe a few months ago. I had talked something about this. The way it started basically was all from the shot meter. Like that's why people are complaining. It's only because of the shot meter. And basically, they talked about that in the 2K TV season finale for Mike Wang and LD2K, which I'm very excited about. Honestly, if they take that out, that would be amazing. And maybe what they could do to counter it, to maybe make like green releases look so much better, basically at the peak of your shot. People would actually be looking more at their peak of the shot, like I said, and they'd be looking more at where they shoot it. They wouldn't be looking at the shot meter, which would be awesome because like that shows just more skill in a player, in my opinion. Now, basically what they could do to counter all of that is whenever you take a shot, it would say perfect release if you got it perfectly at the peak of your shot, and depending on how you released it perfectly, maybe they could just give you like a boost or something. Like maybe it would be like +9 or something, +10. So say you have a 90 3-point or 94 3-point, like they could keep all the archetypes, but they could have it like 94, you just boost it up to a 94. So if you were like a playmaker, playmakers could still be able to shoot pretty decently, in my opinion. They would have if you had like say a 73 point as a playmaker standing, you would be boosted up to an 80, which would be pretty decent. And that's if you get a perfect release. Now, say you were a sharpshooter and you had a 94 on, then you would be having 104, and I think that they should be able to have that, especially if they get their release down, because this is not real life basketball. And I think Agent 00, if you guys watch him, he mentioned something about this. This isn't real life basketball. Like I don't think they understand that, and they did. LE2K did say that they were going to make it a lot more realistic. And that is gonna kind of mess the game up, because now people want to be basically just deadly. They don't want to be like real NBA players. They want to have the dream of playing in the NBA and shooting 90%, 100%, you know. They want to make every single shot, which it is a game, so yeah, that's right. And in my opinion, like that's the thing, is that like these games are not like real life. They're not supposed to be like real life. These games are meant to be games. These games are like fantasies. And what I mean by that is, like, say for instance you play GTA 5 or Call of Duty. You respawn. It's not real life. What happens if you never respawn? You just quit the game immediately. You get one kill, say you die, then the game's over. You know how boring that'd be? And that's, I think, that the approach that they're kind of trying to take, which isn't, in my opinion, the best approach. I think that they should really just make this like a game, not real life. And it's just a simple fact of look at the other games. They're not like real life. There's no such thing as real life in a video game. You know, like maybe you can make the graphics look realistic. Oh, that's a good idea. Make the graphics look realistic. That's something that video games have been trying to do. But if you look, they're really not trying to, they're not really trying to make it look legit. Guns, they have certain recoils. Not guns in real life. If you picked up a gun right there, you would be like blasting yourself back into a wall, basically. Like, it's not real life, obviously. It's not like and I think that's the thing that they messed up on. It's just that it's not real life. It's really just a game. So the next thing I want to talk about is Archetypes, and EA really took a big toll on this. They really listened to community feedback, which is something that I really admire them for doing. In my opinion, that is something that EA Sports is really taking advantage of, and I think that they've been doing that well because 2K feels like they have no match with them. But now EA's coming back, they've been listening to people saying they want those secondary archetypes, where you can be two things at once. And EA took control of that, and they said, okay, we're going to do that, because they listen and they want people to get attracted to their game. It's a very smart marketing idea. It's very smart for the people who are playing. I thought it was really, really cool for them to do that. And I actually am very surprised that they honestly did that, because they really do listen to community feedback well, but they don't really push it as much as they should, because they do listen to community feedback and they just don't push it out as much as they should. Now, as I'm getting a little bit off topic, I'm going to go back to 2K. In my opinion, the archetype system, they're saying that it's going to be all great and doozy and do and whatever. I don't even know how you explain it. But in my opinion, I don't think it's going to be the greatest. I think that they're going to have another mess up. I think that they're going to mess up on the shooting. And, that's just how it is. And LD2K, honestly, he's probably one of the smartest people there. I feel like that 2K, honestly, selects really good people to look. It's like they try to make themselves look good on the outside, but on the inside, they're, really stupid. So, they pick up LD2K, Ronnie2K, who are pretty good community managers, and then you have people like, the gameplay people who they say that they envy, literally, LD2K said that he envied those people. So, that just shows me that they really hire good people on the outside, and then they just hire trash people on the freaking inside. Meaning that they're not going to do anything good with the archetypes, as I'm trying to relate it back to everything. And if they don't do good on the archetypes, then this whole game's going to be messed up, especially for the people who like to play this game. People who play this game, My Career, for instance, they want a good My Career. If people only play My Career, they want a good My Career. They do not want, if people play My GM, they want a good My GM. They don't want a trash thing, and I feel bad because it's more like a grind now just to do everything. And then once you get everything, you're basically just unstoppable, and it's kind of boring after a while. So maybe if you just kept on, getting better and better and better, instead of having that archetype system, maybe you could have one archetype to start out with, and then as you progress throughout the seasons, and you have to play seasons. You cannot just play one season and be a god. You have to play 4, 5, 6 seasons and you'll be good. So it just really depends, honestly, and I think that's how the archetype system should work. And because you see those people like LeBron James, Giannis Antetokounmpo, I don't even know how to say his name. You see those people, and they are 6'11", 6'9", demigods. They can do everything. They can shoot threes. They can make free throws. They can drive in, be a slasher. They can be a big man. They can be a rebounder. They can be anything they want, and yet they still have some sort of archetype. You don't really see an archetype in the NBA. Now, don't get me wrong, maybe you'll see, for instance, DeMar DeRozan, he is a specific slasher in my opinion. He can shoot, he can fade off, he can definitely take it in, he can do everything. So, he's not more of a three-point shooter standing, but, he's probably a typical 2K player who you'd look at and say, oh yeah, he's a slasher. But if you keep on going throughout the season, then maybe he'd get better, but you'd say, I don't know. So it just really depends on how they're going to do next season. I really don't know. I'm actually very hyped for 2K18. I definitely am going to pre-order. I still have to. I need to save up a little bit more money, and then I should be able to get it. But anyways, So that's just basically been my thoughts on that archetype system, and now we're going to get on to the next thing. I'm going to talk about the servers, and I'm not going to give any hate to the servers because I have not had no problems with the servers ever. As you guys can see in this game, I'm not even lagging at all. But in my opinion, I think I've heard too much community feedback that 2K needs to do something, or they need to address the real problem, as in they need to say that no, your connection is really messed up, and they need to actually reply back to people. So what I mean by that is that if you go on support and say, you know, fix your servers please, you submit a ticket saying I cannot connect to your game anymore, it's more likely your internet. I'm not trying to, you know, ride on 2K or anything, ride on Ronnie and say, you know, your servers are not good at all, or your servers are great. You know, I don't know how his servers are, honestly, because I'm never affected by it, and maybe that's just because I have decent internet. I don't know, because I've just heard so much stuff, and I feel like that people are just saying that because everyone says that, and they just want to keep on going along, and they don't really want to address the real problem. Just say, fix your servers to make it to where I can actually play, and it doesn't matter how much money you have to spend, as long as the servers get fixed so that way I can actually play. Because it's not really the servers, they just want to play, and sometimes you have to look at the real problem, which is the internet connection, which, you know, I don't know, it could be the servers. I've never had any issues with the servers, never, ever, ever. The only time I really actually had an issue was during Christmas time, but that's because that was actually a server issue. They fixed it, and it's not bad anymore. Like, I really don't get any more lag. Whenever I'm lagging, my friends aren't lagging, it's just my internet because it's slow at the moment, which is just my internet. That's the thing, is that you can't just say, oh, it's lagging, it's 2K's fault, because no one else is. If everyone is lagging and it's the same game, if everyone is literally lagging in the same game, it's the servers. But if you're the only one lagging, it's not the servers, it's just your internet. For instance, you guys just saw right there, I think he was lagging right there, because he was going out of bounds, and he wasn't actually lagging. It was just his connection. It wasn't the servers at all. So that's my opinion on the servers. I think that 2K did a great job on the servers this year, not trying to ride them at all. But anyways, that has just been the whole video. That's all I want to talk about, those three things: servers, archetypes, and shooting. And that's all I want to talk about, because that's all people care about anymore. And yeah, that's basically been the video for today. And I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, leave a thumbs up as always, and subscribe for new, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.